All right, so today we're going to be talking about my top sleeping tip. Um, it's actually one of the lessons that I do teach in my Not Only Performance program. It's one that we start off with. So I'm just going to do a super quick check to make sure we are live. Facebook has been great this week for all these sleep trainings. And all the tech has worked out this week, which is amazing. If you did miss it, we went into being tired and wired, waking mid-sleep, prescriptions, how to get your melatonin to be kicking in, all kinds of things. So it's really important. Yeah, we are good. It's really important for you guys, if you want to learn about any of those things, to go back. Today, we're going to dig into my sleep tip. So a couple of things. I'm always based on science with everything. So a few things you need to know about this one nerve. We've talked about your stress nervous system, where you have your sorry, this is switching off. I'm not sure if we are live. With your stress nervous system, we have it that you have your stress nervous system and your resting nervous system. And your stress nervous system is what kicks in everything for you to be in that heightened state. And quite often, with a lot of you guys, which we have talked about this week, a lot of you are in that stress state even when you're sleeping. And when you're in that stress state, it does a couple of things. As we talked about earlier this week, there's that nerve that goes under your ear, and it actually strengthens your tongue and your neck muscles. And you need those muscles strong when you're in your resting state, but they actually relax when you're in your stress state, because when you're in a stress state, you're breathing through your mouth. And when you're breathing through your mouth, if your tongue and your neck is relaxed, you can get more air in when you're in the stress state. So we tend to find that when we sleep, if you are shifting into that hypervigilant state, into that stressed nervous system, then what is happening is you are most often breathing through your nose and snoring, like we talked about this week. And what we want to do is we want to start getting you to breathe through your nose. And when you breathe through your nose, there is a branch of that nerves are. That's where you'll find them all. And the thing with these nerves, it has the largest mass of them. With these nerves, they're unmyelinated. So what that means is when the nerve is unmyelinated, it's kind of like taking a rubber cord or taking an electric wire and stripping off the rubber. So you're just left with the wire, which means that it's not as protected. And it also means that it's quicker to engage, but it's also easier to damage. And a lot of studies show in PTSD cases, there's two different states. One is where you can get angry a lot, and the other one is when you pretty much just shut down. When you are actually shutting down, you're not in your sympathetic nervous system, you're in this vagus nerve. And what it is all of these nerves around the branch are shutting down, they're turning off, they're desensitizing you. So that's where that happens in PTSD. but it's also an amazing way for us to be stimulating that vagus nerve. So what we want to do is we want to make sure when you're going to sleep that we're kicking in that vagus nerve. So you're going to, once you've done your sleep routine, you've gone to bed, and you're laying there, you're going to breathe through your nose. So breathe slowly in through your nose and fill up your diaphragm, fill up your belly as much as you can. Because the more that you fill it up, the more that you're hitting those unmyelinated nerves. And then slowly breathe it out. So get all of that air out and out through your nose. So it's in through your nose, fill your belly, and out through your nose. Now, this will, for some of you, it will allow you to start falling asleep and shutting off that mind. But I do want you to be aware of that. This is actually the third thing that we teach in the program. And the reason that it's the third is because quite often a lot of you have your nervous system, your whole stress system is at such a stage where the hormones that we talked about earlier this week, they are in such turmoil, they're so exhausted that your stress system isn't able to, the hormones aren't able to listen. So when you're breathing through your nose, what's supposed to happen is it is supposed to start clearing cortisol, your stress energy hormone, from the frontal lobe of your brain. And it's supposed to be elevating and turning on your melatonin, your sleep hormone, as you start engaging and learning how to engage that vagus nerve. But if your stress system is at such a state where your hormones are not at that point, if you are really, really low in motivation and drive, if there are things that you want to do, but just you can never get into it, never start doing them, you used to be very productive and now you're not, you can't go to the gym, and you're finding that your motivation and everything is so low, that your brain fog, exhaustion, your sleep is so off, you may need to have that first thing that we do in the program where we boost your hormones and give them that energy and resiliency and a little bit of an oomph so that you can start implementing the systems. And then we usually do water next and then breathing, because most likely with a lot of you, your vagus nerve, is so overpowered by your sympathetic nerve, your stress nerve, that that this breathing may not, you may not be as effective with it yet until you get some more relief in your stress system and until your stress nervous system is a little bit calmer and not overpowering your vagus system as much. But I really highly recommend that you give it a try, because this will be a really, really good indicator as to where you are on the burnout and overdrive scale. But I don't want you to feel defeated if it's not working for you. But lay in bed, try the breathing through the nose, fill that diaphragm nice and slow, and see how it works for you. I know some people that have told me that when they started it, after 15 minutes, they'd fall asleep. Some people it's a few minutes, and some people it still is not enough to shut off your mind. So stick with it, let me know, and definitely come back to this group and post and tell me with how long you're going to sleep now, if it is helping you. Right now, actually post in the comments and let me know how long it does take you to fall asleep. I've heard from some people it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours of laying there until you can fall asleep. Some people 15, some people 30. So let me know in the comments how long it takes you to fall asleep, and then try this out and see if it will decrease it. It may give you some relief. So that's always good to know too, if it's helping you a little bit. And if it doesn't help at all yet, don't worry, I've got your back. Reach out, private message me, or comment on here, or you can email me at support@911lifestyle.com, and I can make sure that we can get you that oomph so that all of these habits start working and you can start sleeping. And as you may have learned this week too, waking mid-sleep is a entirely different different issue. So we will work on that. We'll work on your hypervigilance and the anger and the calmness and your gut digestion. And we'll get everything working together to get your stress system as strong as it was designed to be, so that you can absolutely make it through everything that your work is throwing at you right now, and still have energy and motivation and drive, and that drive to really want to be hanging out with your family at home. All right, let me know how I can help you. I'm always here. Ask any questions and I will chat with you soon.